Hi boys and girls, it's Miss Ashley, and for today's lesson we're going to learn about different types of clouds. We'll read this story together, and then afterwards we're going to do an experiment where we test out how and why raindrops fall from the clouds. Look up, clouds. They float in the sky above lakes and seas, gracefully billowing in the breeze. Clouds fill the skies above country lanes and city streets. They drift over and under high mountain peaks. And in this picture, you can see the mountains here, and there's some clouds above the mountains and some clouds below the mountains. These clouds are really low in the sky. They almost look like they're touching the ground. When can you see clouds? You can see clouds almost every day. You can see them in the morning and in the afternoon. You can see them at sunrise and at sunset. Sometimes they look like they're glowing a golden pink or a rosy red, purple or orange or even blue, like we see in these pictures. And over here, you can see this cloud in the distance is covering part of the bridge. Peekaboo! You can even see clouds at night. They are playing hide and seek with the moon and the stars. In this picture, these dark patches in the sky are clouds. They're covering part of the moon. And then over here, above the city, you can see some clouds. What are clouds made of? Clouds are made of water. They're made of millions of very tiny water droplets, or bits of frozen water called ice crystals that float together in the sky. Clouds come in many different shapes and sizes. And here are just three of the main kinds of clouds. So in this picture we see clouds that are called cirrus clouds. Can you say that? Cirrus. And these look like brush strokes in the sky. And then in this picture we see these clouds are called stratus clouds. And they kind of look like fuzzy gray blankets stretched across the sky. And then in this picture, these are called cumulus clouds. And they look like fluffy or fuzzy white cotton balls, or balls of cotton. And then if you look in this picture here, if you can see that, that's a jet or an airplane. And these streams behind the jet, those are called contrails. Those are also a type of cloud. Clouds bring the rain that all plants and animals need to live. Flowers and frogs, trees and tigers all need the rain. Rain happens when the water droplets in a cloud bump into each other and they stick together. When they become too heavy to float in the sky, they fall down to earth as raindrops. And here you can see some raindrops falling on this little tree frog. When it's cold enough, clouds can bring the snow. Snow starts out as ice crystals in a cloud. As the crystals fall through the sky, they stick together and they make snowflakes. And here are three different beautiful snowflakes. And they all look a little bit different, just like we look different. One kind of cloud piles up high in the sky, and it towers like a really giant castle. These clouds create storms with pouring rains, wild winds, lightning, and thunder. And these clouds are called cumulonimbus clouds. They can also be called thunderheads. If you were an eagle, like this type of bird, you could fly through a cloud and feel the wetness on your wings. But guess what? You don't have to fly to feel a cloud. You can walk through a type of cloud. And that type of cloud is called fog, which we see here in this picture. Fog hangs low over the land or the water. Whether you're on the ground looking up at the sky, or you're in an airplane looking down at the sky, or looking down at the clouds, clouds are fascinating to watch. Here are just some of the mysterious looking clouds from all over the world. So over here, these kind of look like bubbles, and those clouds hang from storm clouds. And then over here we see, it looks like a rainbow, and that's actually called an iridescence. The rainbow colored patch in this cloud is called an iridescence. And then over here in this picture, this type of cloud is called a morning glory, and you can only find this type of cloud in the country Australia. So not where we live in the country, the United States. And these clouds are long, very long, and they kind of look like rolls if you look closely. When high winds blow, clouds sweep swiftly through the sky, changing shape as they go. Other times, clouds seem like they are still as statues. But if you look closely, you can see them changing shape. Clouds are always moving and changing. If you could look at the Earth from space, you would see that there are always clouds floating somewhere over our planet. And right here you see the planet Earth. And these white spots that we see, or patches that we see on the planet Earth, are the clouds. During the day, clouds block the sun's heat, keeping the Earth cool. And at night, the clouds act like a blanket to help keep the Earth warm. Clouds bring us the rain that we need to live. They fill the sky above us with beauty. How boring would the sky be without them? And can you be a cloud watcher? All you have to do is go outside and lay on the ground. You can lay in your grass or on the driveway and look up at the sky and see the different shapes that you see in the sky when you're looking at the clouds. And what shapes do we see here for these clouds? We see over here, this kind of looks like a bunny. And then we have a cloud that looks kind of like a duck. And this looks like one of the shapes that we know as a heart. And then down here, this kind of reminds me of an animal that lives in the ocean. Kind of like a whale, looks like a whale. And then here we see a cloud that looks similar to a bird, or maybe even an angel. So sometime today, or maybe tomorrow, or whenever you get a chance, go outside with your mom or dad and lay down in your yard or in your driveway and look up at the sky and see what types of clouds, what shapes you see in the sky. See if you can name some of the clouds that we learned about. We learned about cirrus clouds and stratus clouds and cumulus clouds, and then cumulonimbus. Those are the big clouds that kind of look like a castle, and they bring the wild winds and the rain and the thunder. All right, thank you so much for listening to the story that I read, and now we'll do our experiment.